What's going on, everybody? Giant Opinion Sports. Got a video here today that I am excited to make. So I sat back just thinking, what should the Giants do with the 5th overall pick? So I started going over some offensive lineman tape, and one person really stood out to me. Actually two, but this one I fell in full bloom love, you could say. And that's Neal, Alabama tackle. Now this dude is big, 6'7", 6'8", 350, 360, depending on where you look. And if you were to look at him, you'd think he's just like a 310-pound dude. I mean, he is just solid. There's not much fat on this guy. He graded out excellent. He got pass blocking grade 81.9 this last season, run blocking grade 80.2, 1 sack allowed, 5 quarterback hits, 10 hurries, and only 16 total pressures on the season. This guy was letting up like 1 pressure game, if that. And he has started all over the offensive line. He has 1,000 snaps at left tackle, 728 snaps at left guard, 765 snaps at right tackle. Listen, he started at left guard as a true freshman in 2019. I mean, as a freshman, Jedrick Wills was at Alabama at the left tackle position, so, he wasn't getting that gig. The next season, Alex Leatherwood kind of got promoted to left tackle spot, so Neal was kind of forced to play all over. Right tackle his second season, and finally last season, he got the job. And holy shit, did he blossom into an elite prospect. He was pretty damn good at left guard and right tackle the previous 2 seasons as well. I mean, I believe he was All-American as a freshman. I've personally been evaluating offensive linemen the last 2 drafts. This will be my 3rd, so he has by far got my highest marks. My previous highest grade went to Jedrick Wills. I know. It's just, this kid is impressive. And I think the most impressive thing about Neal, besides the size, athleticism, and technique, is that he played both sides and was pretty much dominant on the right side as well. He only gave up 1.5 sacks 2 seasons ago when he started at right tackle, so I don't think there's a problem at all if the Giants draft him, bringing him in and slotting him at right tackle week 1. What I love about him, like what pops off the tape, is his hand and helmet placement. Now, us Giants fans, we probably didn't think too much about this until Andrew Thomas was here, and now we know how important hand placement is. Well, we saw Andrew Thomas get annihilated repeatedly because of this problem. That is something you are never going to have to worry about with Neal. Now, listen, he has slimmed down. When Neal was coming out of high school, he was 380 pounds. So he's trimmed down substantially. He's definitely got, bigger in the biceps, shoulders, just muscle-wise. Now, listen, there's obviously going to be a few red flags, but the best prospects of all time had concerns coming out. So that's probably a better word, concerns. So for moving positions as much as he did, he should not have technique like he does. I'm not saying it's elite, but for such little time playing at left tackle, it's impressive. And his hand placement is on point. He gets his hands inside and under the pads. 90% of the time, it's perfect. Now, I've noticed he'll overextend at times, which opens up the defensive end to chop, just swing their arm down, chop down. Once you get the offensive lineman's arms down, then you can rip, turn a shoulder and get through, get sideways on him. Now, he's so strong that that hasn't been an issue. When he gets his hands in and under the pads, he grips the jersey, and you're not chopping him at that point. And you can get away with grabbing the jersey right there because the officials can't see it. So when he gets to the NFL and he starts playing the Bosa brothers and players of that caliber, maybe you start seeing him have troubles with that. But I just think that's, I'm a guy on my couch, and that's something I noticed. So I think coaches are going to pound the overextension out of him, or he'll learn on the job real quick. But it's a concern, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll tell you what you do not got to worry about. That's Neal getting beat on the inside. His feet off the line are excellent for a man his size. It's not freaky excellent. It's just the right amount excellent, if you know what I'm saying. Now, I think he could have an adjustment period with the speed rushers, but there's a but there. What gives me a hint that he'll get through that part of his game is, again, he's pretty good with his hands already, and it's most likely going to improve over time. He's a plus in the run game. You think the guy was a chef at the IHOP because it's all you can eat pancakes with this guy. I mean, his down blocking is A+. He gets his face mask right in the shoulder of the defensive lineman, plays with great leverage, and it seems like 95% of the time, he gets what he wants. Hits the spots where he should. He's a line mover. His feet look good, moving up to the next level. And I'll say what's probably helpful with all that is, his freshman year at guard. So now the tape's not perfect. He's a big guy. With that comes balance issues and lateral movement issues. But with repetition and just knowing the playbook, I think that would be huge. It helps a ton. Now sometimes cutting down on weight can help, but I actually like where he is. He is not a fat 350, if you know what I mean. Like, his size is an advantage in a bunch of ways. Like, you ain't bull rushing this guy. Good luck. If you're going power right off the line, you think you're going to bull rush this guy, it's not going to happen. I dare say Aaron Donald ain't doing much. Now, the speed to power guys is where I see him having to adjust and having a little bit of props. But, there's not many elite speed to power guys in the NFL. There's a 10 plus, 12 plus sack guys in the NFL. So balance needs improvement. Decent recovery though. I did see him recover a bunch of times, wash this guy out, push this guy to, to the right side of the line. Now that's what I saw on the tape with Andrew Thomas, which made me give him high marks. Like, his hand placement was a mess. He wasn't perfect, but he recovered. It just seemed almost every play. He put himself in a bad situation, got himself out of it. So that's one thing where I think, Andrew Thomas might have been better coming in the NFL. So I'm not saying Neal is a perfect prospect. I'm trying to get both sides of this, but he's got plenty to work on. But just rare power, rare athleticism, size is top notch. I think if he can show better technique on tape, like he came in week 1 and was doing good against speed guys, kind of like we didn't expect much from Becton, and he showed up like, damn. I don't think there's no reason why he couldn't be like a borderline Pro Bowler first year. So I think that highly of him. I do think he's a little bit ahead of where Mekhi Becton came in for his rookie season. One little quick side note, I didn't see much of it on tape, but it showed a couple times on delayed blitzes or, corner safety blitzes. He took the inside defensive lineman. It didn't happen very often, so I almost didn't even bring it up. Just a quick comment on it. So if he missed assignments in those situations, he might need to work a bit, becoming more aware of what's going on around him, or just what the opposing defenses are doing. So maybe there's a faint chance he needs to improve his overall awareness. But honestly, I couldn't say that about most prospects. Well, all of them really. In my opinion, overall, he's a can't miss prospect in my opinion. We don't use that generational crap word on my channel, but he's pretty damn good. Now listen, I'd probably take Thibodeau or Hutchinson with the 5th pick if they were on the board, but I think them two guys are gone by the time the Giants pick comes around, the 5th pick. In that case, I'm taking best player variable. I think Evan Neal will be there. I think that would be a fantastic pick for the Giants if Neal is off the board. I'm looking at that Akeem Ekwonu. I have a hard time with the last name. Ekwonu would be fine for me at 5. Maybe it's a little bit of reach, but it's such a huge need for the Giants. I think it'd be fine. Now I have Ekwonu kind of graded out pretty close to where I had Andrew Thomas. When he came out of Georgia, Ekwonu might give you, he's going to give you huge upside in the run game. He is Pancake City, which honestly, that's perfect for the right side. I see Ekwonu struggling a bit, kind of like Thomas his rookie season. He's susceptible to being beat on the inside. I saw him get bull rushed a few times, just not good looking reps, but you're college. Everybody's gonna have some reps like that. Listen, I haven't fully scouted him out yet. I see quite a bit of tape on him, but I want to do a lot more. I want to dig deep, kind of like I did with Evan Neal. And I kind of like what I see already, to the point to where I'm gonna have a video out on him, and I'll try and have that out in the next few days. So I'll have that out for y'all when I wrap up on the tape. I will say this though, I watched Linderbaum, and everybody's hyping him up. If the next coach comes in here and runs a zone run scheme, I'd be cool with Linderbaum, taking him even right around 9 or 10. But if the next coaching scheme comes in and wants to run a power run kind of scheme or something, I wouldn't even I wouldn't even draft Linderbaum, to be honest with you. Yeah, he'd have to build his body a couple years to be able to work in a scheme like that. He's just excellent player, great player, but you just got to use him a certain way. So Giants took Evan Neal at 5. I wouldn't even be opposed to 7 if Aquanu is still there. Draft him and start him at right guard or left guard. I think he did play left guard a little bit, so yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Ultimately, I'd like to get some kind of an edge rusher in one of the first 2 picks, but the hell with it. If you're running a power run scheme, Aquanu was definitely the better route over Lindenbaum. So that's probably going to get some people's panties in a bunch because for some reason everybody's so high on Lindenbaum. And I get it. If you're running a spread zone offense, you know, he's probably a perennial Pro Bowler in a couple of years. But I think if you want to just sum up, if you want one game to sum up Evan Neal, go watch or rewatch the Georgia-Alabama championship game and just focus on the big MF for number 73 on the left side. If this guy drops a 5, run to the podium. Get him and talked about, now you're picking up the phone with Saquon. Yeah, don't even pick up the phone. You ain't trading back, But, listen, guys, I have some videos. Obviously, I have some highlights up here if you're still here. Let me know what you guys think of Evan Neal, or would you go in another direction with the 5th pick? Would you trade back? Whichever what, let me know in the comments. Subscribe. Peace.